And we are live. Joshua, are you monitoring our broadcast for us?
Yep.
Excellent. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom to you online. I know I'm going to say something that I know will be a shock to you. We're running behind.
Really?
Right?
Yeah, 6 minutes behind.
We're 6 minutes behind, yes. And I don't do it on purpose. It happens, and we try our best. I remember one time I came down here 15 minutes early to get set up, and we were still behind. So
I think we're like half an hour behind. Yeah.
yes, I remember that. It was awful. I don't do it on purpose. Up, and Israel's getting attacked again as we speak. So if you hear that little chime, that's what that is.
You want to turn that off?
No.
Disrupting.
I do not want to turn it off.
Okay.
We need to be cognizant of what's happening with our people and our land.
Yeah.
Yes. My better half will be joining us here in a few moments. Meanwhile, we will get started. So today, of course, is the what day of March?
14th.
Yeah, 14th day of March, Saturday the 14th, 2026, or in the Hebrew calendar, what? The 25th day of the Jewish month of Adar, 5786, right? And it's Shabbat, so we always say this every week, Shabbat Shalom, which means
peaceful rest.
Peaceful rest. May God grant a peaceful rest to everyone, right, on this special Shabbat. It's special because it's Shabbat. That's why. Excuse me. It's also special a little bit because it is, I don't want to misspeak, but it's the last or the second to last Shabbat in the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because our new year is coming up next week.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we get started with everything that we need to look at today will be a Q&A. We haven't had one of those in a while because we've had our Pelim coming along, then we've had our study about sin and its origins and its solution, Yeshua. We wanted to talk about Q&A today, so we'll be doing that in just a moment. But before we get into that, can anybody tell me what is going on in Israel this week?
Oh, yeah. That's the answer already, yeah.
Nobody's keeping track.
No.
Is there like a big event that's been unfolding over the past couple of weeks that we should probably keep our eyes on? No, nothing. Something called maybe Operation Roaring Lion.
I haven't heard that actually.
Oh, that's the Israeli name of the war against Iran. Operation Roaring Lion. What does the United States call it?
Epic Fury.
Epic Fury. Thank you.
Gosh.
And that chime, if you hear it, is the alert Tzafat coming from Israel, saying that Israel's again being attacked by the Iranians. So there we go. So already, of course, people are talking about a ceasefire. I'm on a great website called ynetnews.com, which is the English version of Ynet News out of Israel. So very, very cool. And it gives you always the latest updates of everything that's happening. So how is this war unfolding, and how is Israel doing in the midst of it?
I don't really care.
Okay, Benjamin doesn't care, but I'm surprised. Say again.
Mostly missile strikes on both ends.
I didn't request commentary.
Well, you gave me commentary, so I gave you commentary.
Give you comment. You asked.
You said I don't really care.
That's because you asked.
And it's okay. You don't have to care, but I can also share with you that I'm not surprised. Yes, Joshua. I'm sorry.
Mostly missile attacks on both ends, both Israel and Iran.
Yeah, well, that is correct. Of course, it's been a war from the air. Israel has discussed this past week about putting boots on the ground.
I hope we do.
In Lebanon. Why do we care about Lebanon? What's going on there?
It's also attacking us.
Yeah, but why are they attacking us? I thought this war was against.
I think they fund.
So no, they don't fund Iran. Iran funds them. There's a terrorist group in Lebanon that has been attacking us for decades. Does anyone know what that's called?
Houthis?
Nope, not the Houthis. The Houthis are out of
Houthis
are out of Yemen.
Oh,
right?
It's one of those. Hezbollah, Houthis.
It's Hezbollah. Hezbollah, yeah. So Iran funds a lot of terrorism. In fact, they are the largest single national source of terrorism in the world, and they fund the Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, which is right here, to attack us from the north. So Israel's like, you know what, Ganuk, we're cutting off their funding by destroying the evil regime in Iran, and it is an evil regime. So let's take care of the Hezbollah, and we certainly will. We're also being attacked, of course, by Hamas still. There's the Gaza Strip. That drama hasn't really ceased per se, because you're just sort of taking the back burner, right, as we look at the evolving war in Iran.
The war in Gaza ended.
Yeah, the war is officially ended, but someone forgot to tell Hamas. So they're still attacking
They
us.
have all the bodies though.
Correct. They're still attacking us.
Hamas still attacking.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Why are they still attacking us? They agreed to the ceasefire. All the bodies have been removed from Gaza. Why are they still attacking us?
I don't know. War of attrition. I guess they want to be the last ones around.
Why?
Because they're Muslim?
Yeah. Because they have sworn destruction of the state of Israel and global destruction of the Jewish people. It's part of their goal. So, yeah. But don't believe me about that. Look it up. So here's Iran over there, for those who may not be familiar with it geographically, right? And we have been pelting them. It's been a difficult time, right? Israel's been under constant attack for 2 weeks. We knew this would be the case. Thank God that we haven't lost a lot of people. I think we've lost about a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half people have died in Israel from the thousands of missiles that have been fired from Iran. But we continue to be under attack here. What role is Iraq playing in all this? That country between Jordan and Iran.
Iraq.
Yeah,
I actually haven't heard much about Iraq.
they're supporting Iran,
Mm.
and they're sending troops to Iran to try to support their war against the United States and Israel. And they are also doing a few terrorist attacks here and there just for funsies. So
I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Iraq helping Iran. I feel like they've always been.
look it up. Now, the reason you say that, it's interesting because there was a war between Iraq and Iran about
Yeah.
40 years ago in
Yeah.
the 80s, but that was under completely different regimes.
Yeah.
That was when Saddam Hussein was in power in Iraq,
Mhm.
and we funded Saddam Hussein
Yeah.
so that he could win against Iran.
Yeah.
And which is ironic because we put the Ayatollah in power in Iran through the Carter administration,
Mhm.
and then we funded the guy to fight the Ayatollah.
Well, the other option was Soviets in the Middle East, so we did the right thing.
They're already there. Then the guy we funded in Iraq turned around in 1990, 91 and invaded Kuwait.
Mm.
And then we had to fight him. And with the same weapons that we gave him, it's a mess.
Small price to pay to fight communism.
Yeah. So today Iraq is actually helping Iran, which is unfortunate. Sir.
It's funny you say that because had the Soviets taken the Middle East, they still collapsed like 40 years later.
Yeah.
So there would have been that power vacuum.
There would have been a power vacuum.
The United States, as it's always done, just made things worse.
As it's always done.
Well, not always,
No.
but our international policy on diplomacy has been a mess in the past 25, 30 years. And we've got a lot of pain. So that's what's going on in Israel right now. And among a lot of other things, there's continuing discussion about the lawsuit against Prime Minister Netanyahu. It's one thing after another, which it always is.
Yeah.
So how is anti-Semitism around the world going on? Any anti-Semitic events happened this week?
No, yeah, people love the
Nothing?
Jews. Yeah.
Are you talking about
Nothing.
the school? The
shootings are happening.
yeah.
No, well, talk to me more. What happened?
Was that the?
The synagogue in Michigan, I believe.
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a synagogue in Detroit, Michigan this past week. I think it is the largest Reformed synagogue in the United States. Wow, I'm just getting all these ads. Sorry about that. There we go. And it was attacked, right? What happened? Does anybody know?
Wasn't the is that the one where they crashed a car into the building and then got out and started?
Yeah, so who did that? Was it a disgruntled white American conservative just hating on Jews again?
It was a Muslim.
It was a Muslim guy. Another Muslim attacks us in the United States. So we did ram his car into the synagogue, and there was a school there, and the kids were in school at the time.
Mhm.
And his hope was to just slaughter as many kids as he could. And he got out and started shooting, and thank God was taken down. Nobody actually died except for him at the synagogue event.
Bad shot.
And what's interesting to me is we have a Reuters news agency article up right now. And the first line about this attack against Jews says, rights advocates note a rise in anti-Muslim, anti-Palestinian, and anti-Semitic hate in the U.S.
They're saying everything.
There wasn't anything anti-Muslim. It was anti-Semitic.
There was nothing anti-Muslim or anti-Palestinian about this event.
No,
They're
but
reporting on the event in Michigan.
I understand, but I think it's just generalizing all of hate right now. This rising price.
Why? This wasn't hate against Muslims. This was
Voice
anti-Semitic.
is pretty good, so I don't know what.
I think they used to be. I think they're leaning left. So
There's nothing wrong with that. I just think
there is a lot leaning left or right. We want objective news.
that doesn't exist.
I agree. It doesn't exist. So anyway, it's been a very, very difficult week, right? And not just this thing in Michigan, but a lot of other things have happened as well against the Jewish people. Hannah.
Why would he survive?
What? He didn't.
Who's he?
No, he died.
The guy who
Yeah,
attacked
the Muslim guy who attacked us died. And what's interesting is as soon as we heard about it, your mom and I looked at each other and said, "Ah, it's a Muslim." And it was, again, unfortunately, because they're nothing if not dedicated to the cause to kill Jews. Here's another article from The Atlantic, which is an interesting magazine that comes out in the United States. And it's the title, of course, and you can see it right there. And then the subtitle, "The Michigan attack shows that anti-Jewish terror is spreading." And then he goes on to detail in this article. So you have to pay for the rest.
I think this war that had supposed to have finished.
Which war is that? I'm sorry, I'll ask you to give details.
The Gaza war, the Iran war. It's bringing out.
So like October 7th, 2023.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's bringing out the loss of people.
I agree. Was there any anti-Semitism at all before?
I mean, yeah, obviously, yes. I mean, but like this heightened emotion out. It let the cat out of the bag. You don't need an excuse now.
It made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made it
Legal.
Acceptable.
Oh no, just acceptable.
yeah, it made it socially acceptable, right? Because bad Jews, genocide, wham.
And everybody's afraid of Muslims, so they don't do anything. If this was any other people group, they would be on them. You know, they would
Right.
be, condemning it and everything. But everybody's afraid of the Muslims,
Mhm.
or the governments are.
Yeah, it's been a difficult week for Israel in general and for Jews around the world in particular. And I know it's not just us. There are a lot of people suffering all over the world. We live in
Christians and
difficult times. Christians in Africa and Asia,
Mhm.
and even parts of South America and Europe. But I say this to emphasize reality that it's a hard time
Yeah.
for us. Yes, there is a wonderful website called Religion of Peace, which I encourage everyone to avail themselves of. And this website keeps track of Muslim attacks against Christians, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, even against themselves, over and over, all around the world. And they've been keeping track since 9/11, and they record it. So I'm not promoting this website because I'm trying to be anti-Islamic or or what is it, Islamophobic, right? Let me say something clearly here. I'm not against Muslim people, right? We've all had friends who are Islamic, went to med school with several of them, wonderful, kind people, generally speaking, except the guy who cornered me and yelled at me in public because of Israel.
Yeah.
Like, get out of my way, I got to go to class. But the religion of Islam is a poison. It's a spiritual toxin that promotes death and violence. And that is recorded adamantly here on this site and many, many others. And that is what we're dealing with in Israel, right? This philosophy of death, where we have women, Palestinian women, rejoicing that their 10-year-old son has blew himself up to kill a Jew in Israel. There's something wrong with the way you think. Golda Meir once said that we will never win this war until they love their children more than they hate us. And she's right. Any thoughts at all about that? Welcome, by the way.
I mean, I could talk about the war in Israel for hours.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
We talk about the war in Israel today. There we go.
Oh, I just want to make sure. See, you're off the screen, so we're losing you. Yep. We go more this way on that incredibly uncomfortable chair. There you go. Ew.
Praise all over.
All right. Okay. On that note, any other things or anything else about the war in Iran, the effect on Israel, the extraordinary explosion of anti-Semitism we've seen, especially since 2023, which just continues to rise?
I mean, what's the end goal here? Like, we
Of us or them?
the
Their end goal is our eradication.
Sure, but like, what's the end goal of the war? So we put the new guy in power. We get rid of the Ayatollahs.
You mean the United States?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you to speak up clearly so everyone can hear you.
Sorry. Like, my question is, like, what's the end goal here? We say we total Iran. We've conquered it. We've put in their new government,
Right?
and then what? There will still be terrorism, and we already know as a fact that whoever America puts up isn't going to be their friend forever. Cuba's evidence that. Venezuela's evidence of that.
Yes, it's gonna be the same cycle.
It's going to be the exact same cycle.
Well,
It's like
it's easier for them to get funded. The only reason why Hezbollah did what they did, or the Ghazians did what they did in October 23rd, was because Iran was backing them.
no, but like,
And if
there'd
we
be
take out what you need to do, we're trying to take out the funding source. and the funding source was Iran.
You have to fight Russia and China then.
Well, they're next, but
Well, they should have been the first ones.
I think
When the war started in Ukraine, they should have been the first ones.
we're talking a few.
Crazy
Boots on
talk.
the ground, 2014.
We're talking a few days ago, and we think that
But Obama was in power, and he was like, okay with it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The past
So-
two presidents just been scumbag.
Right? It's been a difficult time.
Well, I think somebody said, I forget who it was, very person said that in like, this is just my example, but he kind of put it in a similar way. In order to kill the octopus, you have to cut off the arms.
Yeah, I mean,
So what
So-
we're doing is, in order to kill the octopus,
Yeah.
China, Russia,
Yeah.
and North Korea, we cut off the tentacles, and the tentacles are the things that Russia, China, and North Korea are using to fund these terrorist attacks and stuff, and attacks against America and Israel. So I think that's what the plan is cutting off those tentacles, like with Venezuela.
I'm going to cut you guys short. Well, maybe only one more minute, and then we have to drive on to our.
Oh, so I mean it's pretty
it's not
self-explanatory.
gonna. It's not gonna happen though. We tried. The whole past 20 years was to fight terrorism, was to end terrorism, to cut off the octopus's arms. But
You mean since 9/11?
yeah, and it's the thing is though, like the cycle is just gonna. We're gonna put Pahlavi in power. There's gonna be a revolution in 10, 15 years. He's gonna be out of power or dead. And yeah, and people are gonna fight against America again.
But the point is not. I don't think we'll ever be able to stop it because sin is sin.
Well, this is why America needs to be strong
Right.
Yeah, but
And
that's
also,
with Israel.
we're
we have
setting
to-
up our own attacks.
But the alternative is to do nothing and just let them continue
let
to
them
slaughter
take over America.
thousands of
No,
people
honestly,
every year.
What I think should happen is we glass them. We make sure that there is no comeback. There is no. I'm not joking.
My son wants to nuke Tehran.
I didn't say nuke.
Nuke all the Middle East,
That's
and
what
you
glass means.
now. Doreen has a mate.
We have two squirrels. There are two squirrels out back, and the dogs are freaking out over here.
We named one Doreen because she keeps eating our bird feed seed, but now there's another one. So
Okay.
I think that everyone is not naive enough to know that evil will always be around.
Right.
But the point is, try to save as many people as you can.
I know, but
Try to protect as many
And
people.
there is our minute. I
Oh,
apologize, but
no.
we've run out of So,
I
so okay. So there's a lot going on, obviously, and we're not going to eradicate evil. Only the Lord will do that when He returns. But we can be strong enough to keep it at bay,
Mhm.
and that is the goal. All right. On that note, then we will continue with our Bible study, and it is again a Q&A this week. So, Hannah, you were going to say something too. You were going to mention something. What
All
was
right, I
it?
have the first question now.
Does she have food in her mouth?
I have no idea.
You wait till you're done, and then you can. So.
Never mind, Hannah. All right, moving on. She's eating a burrito. So we have Q&A this week, and Benjamin has insisted he wants the first question.
The first question.
Okay. And Benjamin, what is your question?
So about the war in Israel and Iran and all
Mhm.
that. So my question is basically, what is like, I don't like. I'm trying to phrase this without.
Starting the war in Israel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, which war?
What's his
Yes.
American Israel war?
The
This
So the
isn't just
wars.
Israel.
this war that we're fighting.
Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just Israel. I mean,
Yeah.
America's co-sponsor.
Excuse me.
My question is basically, is it, I don't know how to phrase this without sounding like I'm against Israel.
What? You against Israel? Never.
I mean, I am, but I also
Yeah.
don't want to phrase it like that.
I mean, just be honest. Just ask.
All right. It seems like Israel wants war. I know it sounds weird, but my question is basically,
So is the question then, is Israel warmongering?
yeah,
Is it okay?
basically, because it seems like,
And what do they get?
but like,
What would they get out of it?
And the
Yeah,
reason,
second question.
okay, so the whole thing of Q&A, one at a time, because they're hearing everything. The whole thing about Q&A is that we look at things from a biblical perspective, right? So we look at things through the lens of Scripture, as every person who's born again ought. So is your question then, concerning the wars in the Middle East, is Israel warmongering? Is
yeah,
that your question? Okay,
basically.
I've got it right up here, so we can see. Good. Well, I mean, that's a pertinent question. There's been a lot of conflict, especially in the past 3 years since 2023, but even before then, we had the war with Lebanon. We had all sorts of things going on. What do you guys think? Be honest. Is Israel warmongering? And do you mean Israel as the land, the people, The government or Netanyahu?
The state government and Netanyahu.
Okay, so because we need to specify.
So really the government of
The
it.
government, the
This
politics of Israel.
question pertains to the government and Prime Minister Netanyahu, right? Okay.
Well, not only just
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
Still the same
plus-
Well, he has executive.
government.
No, I know, but I mean, Yitzhak Rabin.
No, yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh my gosh, these dogs.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Is Israel warmongering? Be honest.
Yes, but I think we have to survive.
Okay, so let's take a poll here, right? So we're going to have our yeses and we're going to have our nos. All right, vote for yes. Benjamin.
Yes.
Yes. Vote for yes or no, Joshua.
Yes.
Yes. Yes or no, Yosef.
That's a difficult question to answer.
It is. I agree. This is not a black and white question.
The internal structure of government works, so I'm going to just add on.
Okay, so that's fair. So we're going to put I don't know. We have vote for that. Hannah, yes or no?
I'm not sure.
Oh, we also have another one for I don't know. Okay, to Switzerland's mom.
I say no.
No, and I am also going to say no, of course. So we're tied. We have two yes.
Can't make the deciding vote then.
No, I mean it's
You
we
got
have
two-
two yeses.
Agree. See what
We have two yeses, two nos, and two I don't knows.
That could be the deciding factor there. Well, the
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask our viewers as well. Do you think Israel's warmongering? Let us know. You can respond live right now during our Bible study. During the recording, of course, you can't.
We should probably decide. Probably decide.
And there's the dog chasers. Sorry about that. Somebody go get the dog, please. Thank you.
We need to define warmongering.
Indeed.
well, also too, we also have to look at the wars that Israel's been in and who started it. Because would we consider war defending yourself? I mean, we call it war, but is it really just defending yourself? Or is it really just retaliating?
You're
Because
just way ahead of us.
Oh.
But you make a good point. Because if someone keeps beating you up, you got to do something, right?
Well,
Especially if you're protecting millions of people.
well, the reason why I say that, I know I'm ahead, but when you define war, do we take that into consideration?
So
Or
we
do
just-
we just call every conflict a war?
Well, we need
You
to define warmongering first,
Yeah.
right? So, Benjamin, you asked the question, what is your definition of warmongering?
Oh, I personally would define it as just constantly seeking out war.
Okay, so for what reason?
Could be many
Seeking
political
out
gain,
war.
physical land gain.
Or for personal gain.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Benjamin's definition, constantly seeking out war for personal gain.
Trying to look up the actual definition.
And now he's looking up a real definition, so we will go with that as well. Does anybody else have a definition of warmongering?
My definition would be like Genghis Khan style, where he actually sought out, people to conquer.
I mean, Genghis Khan was a warmonger. He
He was a
deliberately sought out people, and if they did not submit to him, he would just slaughter them.
That's exactly what I think a warmonger is. It's not somebody who's defending themselves from an attack. It's somebody who is diligently saying, I want that land.
So you
And I
agree that Genghis Khan was a warmonger, therefore you agree with Benjamin's definition.
no, I don't think Israel is
No,
doing
you
it.
agree with Benjamin's definition.
Oh yes,
Okay,
definitely.
Joshua. Yes.
If your bones votes no.
No.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you back. Yes, I hope you're safe up there where you are. I won't reveal you are. I'm not going to dox you, but I hope you're safe. Okay, another vote for no, which means we win. Woohoo! Thank you, Digger Bones. You did the deciding vote. Anybody else? Definition of warmongering while Benjamin looks it up.
Oh, I looked it up.
I would argue that warmongering is simply a state that focuses and specializes in war, but doesn't actively seek it out.
But if you don't seek it out, then you're not warmongering. Because mongering.
Well, what does the word
Yes.
mongering mean? Can somebody look it up in the dictionary?
Yeah.
To monger.
I mean, I just
To be in a state of mongering.
I automatically assume I know what it means, but I don't know the actual definition.
That's usually what happens here.
Yeah.
Is like a broker or a dealer.
So they're
Somebody
dealing.
deals in war.
Someone who deals.
So Iran would be the warmongers
Sudan would be a war.
because they're paying
Yeah,
other people to start wars.
I would think. Yeah, I think most nations.
China and Russia would be warmongers.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think
Okay.
America can be warmongers in some time. It's
Boy, don't get me started about that. So, did you have a definition that you looked up in warmongering?
Well, the definition was to stir up war. It wasn't as helpful. To
Just
stir up.
to stir up war.
Stir
Okay.
up.
That's every country on Earth.
That's every human being, really.
That's a point that needs to be addressed as
Yeah.
well then. Okay. So the official definition Benjamin found, he has his personal definition up here, and it's pertinent because this goes along with this question, was to seek out war constantly for personal gain, or the official definition to stir up war. That would be warmongering.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
Merriam-Webster.
That's thank you. Merriam-Webster. All right. So the question then is does Israel warmonger? But now we have to do something that your mom mentioned. We have to define war. And I'm not trying to be stupid here,
Right.
but if Max comes and bites me on the arm and I slap his nose, like, don't do that. Did I declare war on Max? Did he declare war on me? Is war just any conflict? What's the definition of war, Hannah?
You're defending yourself
Interesting. Okay, so Hannah says war is to defend oneself against what?
against someone
For what reason?
because you want to be safe.
Okay, so can we say it's to defend oneself against someone attacking you?
Yes.
Okay.
I would argue that war is contest between nations, peoples, or parties.
That's cheating. He's
Oh, Josh.
Thank you, Mr. Webb.
he's Oxford.
I didn't know you were still alive.
Okay, so and that was Hannah's definition. We'll put a Hannah right there, HG. And you have another definition, Joshua?
Webster was a real guy.
Yeah.
No, it's
I didn't
a quarrel between nations or parties carried by
A what?
forces.
A coal
A quarrel of contest.
Somebody created the dictionary.
roll?
Then Merriam-Webster.
What do you say?
Quarrel,
Took
okay.
over.
A
and that's-
quarrel between what?
Nations or parties carried by forces.
Parties
I feel
carried on by armed forces. Okay. And is that Merriam-Webster or Oxford? Or,
I thought it was a company.
that's Adam Online? Okay,
I thought it
so
was a company.
okay.
What is now?
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be.
Right. So this is our definition of war, right? Benjamin, it was your question. Did you want to add anything to these two definitions?
No, those are
Hannah suggests war is to defend oneself against someone attacking you.
I don't disagree, but also agree at the same time. Like it's because
Wait, not done.
Sorry.
And Adam Online said that war is a quarrel between nations or parties carried on by armed forces.
I mean I would agree with both. I think Hannah's right sometimes because if
Excuse
you
me.
defend yourself, you get into war. It's like
Right.
when Japan attacked us in 1941.
Yeah.
We was it
41.
Yeah. We went to war,
Yeah.
but it wasn't us who started that.
Right.
And that's the point I'm saying is, is it warmongering if you're doing definition number one, if you're defending yourself? And I feel like Israel is constantly defending itself.
In my personal opinion, I don't think warmongering is defense because mongering is a dealer of. You don't want war if you defend yourself. You want.
So we need to add that to our definitions then. To monger then means people who are not defending themselves, right?
Yeah.
But seeking out conflict?
Dealing or brokering it based on the definition of Merriam-Webster.
Seeking out, then we'll say
because
with
That's
war.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And I'll put that in there.
So you can defend yourself
and make it
and
look like
be
it.
in war, but
Okay.
if you started it, that's warmongering.
Okay. So, for example, when and World War II is such a pivotal lesson for all of us. When Hitler invaded Poland,
That was war.
he was warmongering, even though he said it was defensive.
Yeah.
No, I mean
He can say whatever he wants.
can ask the fox if he likes chickens. I mean,
Can we bring it a little more personal?
I can rob my neighbor's house and say I was defending myself. Trust me.
right? Yeah,
Can we bring it down a little more personally and say when the Palestinians attacked us and invaded our land on October 7th, 2023, that was warmongering.
that
Yeah.
was.
Okay, you hesitated.
No, because you said invading is like, well, we kind of came to Palestine first, and it's like the.
Oh, no, the
No, I'm talking about.
Oh.
Talk about 40.
Two, everyone.
I'm not talking about.
Hang on.
The
Oh.
40s.
Oh.
Maybe three.
I'm saying it's this impulse.
Oh.
Oh, you just stirred up the rooster. Stirred up the snake's nest. Hornet's nest.
Just a second, but Josh,
Who's that people?
no, Josh, guys,
Let him finish this.
don't talk.
Not going to raise voices.
I know, but 8 people are talking at the same time.
Okay.
There's only 6 people here.
I'm not.
Are you hearing voices? I
No,
Okay, one at a time.
Wait, let me-
Yes.
is
Yeah,
like,
you need to be patient.
it's
Yeah, I get it. I know. Patience.
What I'm talking about
Go ahead.
is, well, because I thought he was referring to the 40s, because the British mandate of Palestine was obviously. You're not even paying attention. I'm talking to you. The British mandate of Palestine basically said that
Joshua, pull that curtain, please, so she cannot see the squirrel. Thank you. Sorry about that, y'all.
basically
Squirrels and dogs and screaming 20-somethings, you know.
obviously October 7th was warmongering. That was a full-fledged military attack against
27th,
Israel.
right?
But
2023, yeah.
there's no question that's warmongering. But what I'm talking about, what I thought he was referring to was the 1940s. After World War II, there was this influx of Jews into British mandated Palestine, and there was several battles and even massacres carried out by Jewish officers against.
Don't worry
native
about it.
This happened, and you're looking at me like I'm a crazy person. You're giving me a handle look.
On your screens is a picture of the October 7th, 2023 attack. And Benjamin, I was like, oh, because you're in my wheelhouse now. You want to talk about that history.
Well, yeah, but like,
But my question was the October 7th, 2023 attack warmongering
yes,
from the Palestinian people?
definitely.
Okay, and that was my question. As we wrestle with and look at these definitions.
Just like,
All right. So we've got our definition of warmongering, right? Got some pretty good things lined up here. We've got our definition of war. Benjamin's carrying the dog. Okay. I wish you could see.
To get her to not.
Our dog is up 50 pounds at least. She's a really heavy dog, and Benjamin's just picked her up like she was a feather and just carried her.
she's actually girl.
She's all traumatized.
She is.
She's like,
She's an
just
unhappy dog. Okay.
look at the squirrel.
Okay. All right. So we've got our definition of war as well. All right. Before we go on to address the question, is Israel warmongering? We want to look at this from a biblical perspective. So where in the Bible can we go to talk about God, his attitude towards war, and how that's reflected in ancient and modern Israel? Someone help us out.
I think he set up last for war in the Torah, right?
Did he?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Well, I think
okay, my wife is dying over here.
my throat.
You guys?
Yeah.
Why do people always ask that? Well, you know, obviously the person's
I mean, nothing else I can do. I try to show cards.
I'm not attacking him. I'm like, you know, but I do that as well. Someone's racked with pain, writhing on the floor. I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah,
They give me a call cash. You
you
can't
don't
talk
need
to me.
28.
Let's say that again.
Somebody's in a car accident, and then you say you can't park there.
Okay, about that, mate. They've already ejected out the window. It's not, you can't park there.
Let's look and see what's going on. First of all, before we even get to Deuteronomy 28, and that's a very good
The 20, yeah.
chapter, let's look at some of the names of God as it pertains to war, okay? Because God himself identifies as a God of war. Which is very important. The dog just heard Benjamin, so.
But I think that he he's a god of war because he's establishing his nation, and he likes to defend his people. But he also holds certain people out of war. Like, and I'll use David was a prime example, like because he wouldn't allow David to build a temple because he had too much blood on his hands.
Right.
So God will fight wars and allow people to go to war, but yet he sets certain people apart from it. So it's a like not everybody is called to war. Not
I
everybody.
agree, absolutely.
God doesn't allow everyone to.
So I'm not sitting here saying God is a bloodthirsty God that's just killing everybody. I'm not saying that at all. But of the over 360 names and titles for God in the Bible, one of them very much applies to war. Actually, a couple of them do. Which one am I thinking of?
The Lord of Hosts.
Oh, okay. What is that, Hebrew, Joshua?
Adonai Tzeva'ot.
Adonai Tzeva'ot. What does that mean? You just said it.
Lord of Hosts. Yeah.
The Lord of Hosts. What does that mean?
Host is an old military term.
For?
The two moons, basically.
Okay.
Just let her out.
Dog and the
Let her attack the squirrels.
dog with the shark and the squirrel. I tell you. Okay.
Only on Sundays. Only on Sundays.
Oh, let's see this.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
she loves it up in the patio.
Oh, I know, but during our Bible study.
Yeah.
So, Lord of hosts, or Lord of whom?
Armies.
Armies. That's another translation. Lord of armies. Why would the Almighty Baruch Hu, the Creator and Sustainer of all things, bequeath upon himself a title of Lord of armies, and what does it mean that he does this?
Well, interestingly enough, like most of the gods back then, the Old Testament way God portrayed himself was very militaristic.
Why?
To show authority, to show power.
Was conflict a daily way of life back then?
Very much so.
Okay. When the Lord applied this term to himself, and it's all over the Bible, and we can look up a few of those verses to show you, what was he telling us about himself? The question is, what does this title reveal about God's character?
He had authority.
Okay, give me more.
He had authority and he had strength.
I'm going to say he has authority,
Yeah.
because the Bible says God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, referring to Yeshua. He has authority and strength. Okay, anything else?
Well, I think he's going to lead the final battle.
He will. Talk to me about
He
that.
wants to stop teddy bear.
He's the commander in chief.
Was it C.S. Lewis? Mr. Bieber was talking in Chronicles of Narnia, being asked about Aslan, and he said, "Is he safe?" Of course, he's not safe, but he's a king and he's good. Talking about Aslan the lion. You have to read the book; it's very
He's
good.
not a tame lion.
He's not a tame lion.
I don't
So
know if
God has authority and strength, and what
I
else?
don't know if this applies, but in Ecclesiastes 3:8, it says there's a time to love and a time to hate, and a time for war, and a time for peace. And he's in charge of the times and the seasons.
Okay.
So
What does it reveal about God's character that he calls himself Adonai Tzeva'ot, the Lord of hosts?
Protective.
Oh, he's protective of whom?
his
Everyone.
kingdom,
Israel.
Not everyone.
whoever's in his kingdom.
Of Israel, of his people, right? Of his kingdom. Oh. Wait, if he's protective, does that mean that there's someone against whom to protect?
But
In
yeah,
other words, is there conflict?
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. So he acknowledges that conflict exists, and he rises to the occasion himself to defend and protect. Okay, so being a Lord of armies reveals what about his character? His love. You protect that which you're supposed to protect, right? If you are married, part of your job, among many others, and your husband is to protect your family. I know that sounds super patriarchal right now. Thank you. And I'm not getting into all the garbage of our social society that's deconstructing the family and trying to emasculate all men. Men are supposed to protect their homes and their families. It's our job, amongst many other jobs. Now, remember, right after your mom and I got married, literally, we had our first apartment together. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
It was literally one room, not one bedroom. It was a room. And that one room was living room, bedroom, dining room, kitchen, all in one. And the kitchen was like an afterthought stuck in a corner. There
Right.
was a stove and I think a tiny little island. Something. It wasn't an island. It was, yeah.
A bar
Yeah.
that separated the living room from the kitchen area.
Our bed was in the wall. We had to pull it down every night to sleep in and then make it and put it back up into the wall. So it was a humble beginning.
Why did your bedding not fall off?
You tuck it underneath the mattress and tuck it in.
And the pillows. You kept your pillows out, I believe.
Yeah, we put them on the couch, I think. So it was our first apartment together, and I remember every night before I would go to bed, I would go to the front door and make sure it was locked. No one told me to. My stepdad growing up never did that, as far as I know. I just automatically did it. It wasn't even an afterthought. It was like, okay, this is something I do. And that's part of the job. We protect and defend. And then when your wife gets pregnant, oh my gosh, it just gets higher and higher, because then you're like, don't step off the curb too fast, and are you okay? Do you want water? That's with the first child. By the time the fourth and fifth roll around, you're like, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's not like that.
Carry this, push this car to the curb.
Let you in labor. Let me take a shower first.
Yeah.
Ew.
True story.
You've never done this, but I just pictured.
Labor's like 25 hours long. You got time for a shower.
You've never done this, but I just pictured I pictured like mom going, trash has got to go out, but you're on your fourth child, so like, you got legs. He's never done that, but I thought
I would never do that.
it's a funny image that I just thought of. I thought it was funny.
Kids come and that protective instinct just ratchets up even more,
Mhm.
right? You got to protect the kids, and of course that's with mom as well. She's like, "Oh, the kids," and then protect your whole family. Now you have this brood you have to protect, and you're checking every window and every door, and your mind always races to hyperbole. What if the child is walking across the floor, trips, accidentally rolls, hits a chair, the chair bumps a table, or the table plate falls off the table onto the skull of the child and kills them? This weird stuff. So this protective instinct is built into us as men, and certainly with as women as well, with children and everything. God gave that instinct to us because He is protective of us. Now, the question would be, if He's protective of us, why does He allow bad things to happen? Right? Where is this love? If He allows us to suffer. As parents, we cannot stop our kids from suffering. In fact, a little bit of suffering is good for children. You do something stupid, you're supposed to get disciplined, right? I'm not saying that all suffering in our lives is discipline. There are many different reasons for suffering. But what I am saying is what Benjamin has referred to many times in the past, that if you suffer, it makes you stronger.
It does.
And Benjamin has his own Philadelphia growing up story of suffering
Yeah.
and becoming a rapper.
Oh yeah, I'm real hood. I'm real.
You're a real hood, yes.
Oh white guy, just middle class somehow.
Just the middle one.
Just middle guy. No, but I'm not comparing to women to animals. But but like it was
There's no good way to end that sentence, Benjamin.
no, it's just like because I was thinking when you were saying that, it's like the only time I've ever felt like that protective was when we had our kitten Abby. She was a kitten, and that's the only time. She's not a kitten.
You don't care for animals?
No, I do, but like she's been around the house. She knows how to take care of herself pretty good now. But like,
In other words, you feel affection and love for her to the point that you want to protect her from what you know is bad,
yeah,
harmful.
we put up,
That's built into you.
putting up the tree for the first time. I was terrified because I knew she was like, oh, what if she eats the bulb? What if she?
Well, not that. You remember when we first brought her home
Yes,
and she had gone missing?
she
We
did. We didn't know where
she was. And we spent like we went outside. We took our flashlights.
You also missing kitten posters.
Put it on the neighborhood thing, and it ended up that I had opened a drawer. Somehow she was so smart because she was the runt of the litter.
Actually, that's not really what happened. Let's tell them what really happened.
She got into the drawer. Well, she did get in the drawer, but it didn't.
We were getting ready for bed. We couldn't find her at all. And then we heard, oh, you had opened the drawer.
I had opened the drawer earlier, and I didn't realize that she had crawled in there. So
got in.
we were all like,
Yeah.
So we were just okay. She ran away, and
we found her.
And so we were laying in bed, and Troy has better hearing than I, so he's like, "What?" Shh. And we were all listening. Well, me and Troy were listening, and I was like, "I don't hear anything." He's like, "I hear something." So he's following the sound, and she ended up in that drawer.
I could hear this plaintive mew, like from beyond the grave. It was that distant. And I got on my hands and knees, and it was coming from the drawer. And we opened it up, and your mom just freaked out. And then we called all the kids out of bed, and everyone was rejoicing.
So like, here she
Yes. I was so scared for her. She was brand new.
But that's that feeling
Yeah.
parents get that you
Yes.
relate to.
And this feeling comes from God, because He is Adonai Tzeva'ot, He is Lord of hosts, and He is protective over His people, right? Now, a true reality. You're a parent, your kid starts growing up, and the older they get, the worse decisions they can make. Until finally they become men and women where they can hurt themselves badly. They can literally make choices that will negatively affect them for the rest of their lives. And that's part of growing up. They have to decide if they're going to make those choices or no. And as a parent, there's very little we can do. We pray, we advise, even if it's not asked for, we remind, but in the end, the decision is theirs. But we still have that protective feeling, right? A good parent never is like, oh, all right, you're out of here, don't care. God is the perfect parent. And even as His children, people of Israel, right? And later with the new covenant, those who are born again, Jew and Gentile together, as we grow, we make stupid choices sometimes. God will make us, He will allow us to make stupid choices. Not make us, He will allow us to make stupid choices. And He will allow us to reap the consequences of our poor decisions. So when bad things come as a result of that, that's not God's fault. It's our fault. The good thing about God, among many others, is that He will also help us out of the negative consequences of our poor choices, even though it's our fault, not His. that were in that situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is all part of that Adonai Tzeva'ot, that love he has for us. So Joshua, find for me a verse or two where God is called Adonai Tzeva'ot, the Lord of hosts. Dead air. We have dead air, people.
So that's so
I don't know. It's really fast for me. Nothing. You got nothing.
like he is called a lot. Like
Yeah, just give me one. I just want to share a verse so that people can see
Zechariah 4:6.
we're not making this up. So Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. So I'll make this a bit bigger. I'm going to include the Hebrew so that you can see it. And remember, Hebrew's read from right to left, opposite of English. So Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. So let's go down here. Do. Whole chapter. Oh, Zechariah is amazing, by the way. So, and he, would you like to read it?
Yep, let me just pause it here.
So again, we're starting over here. We're reading this way because of the Hebrew.
Yeah. Then he answered and spoke to me, saying, "This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts."
One of the most famous verses in the entire Old Testament, right? So, first of all, what does it mean? What does the verse mean?
Only by God's hosting can war be won.
Yeah, and not just war, but everything in general. But yes, in the context of this. So he answered and said to him, "This is the word of Adonai right here, Deva Adonai, and saying, Lo bechayil velo vekoach. Ki im be'ochei amar Adonai Tzeva'ot," right? Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Right there. The chief master of armies. Question: over what armies is God Lord? Hannah.
Israel.
Israel, the army of Israel, that's true.
Technically, I think if this implies technically every army.
I mean, technically, yes,
With
right.
the heavenly host, right?
And the heavenly hosts as well,
Yeah.
right? So God, there is, wait, breaks. That's supposed to be a break sound. My voice is not good. So I promise I'm not having a stroke. There's a heavenly army? What? I thought God was a God of love and peace and teddy bears and puppy dogs and rainbows.
No.
Yay!
Yeah.
If I was to, Satan's just
Yeah.
Well, if you remember in Daniel, when Daniel was praying and he was waiting on the word of the Lord, and the angel came, and he says there was a battle in the heavens, and
Right.
I had to get through. So there's testimony of that, and then it says in Revelation, is it Revelations? I don't remember where it is, but it says how even the angels, when they fight
Mhm.
Satan, they don't call him
That's
names.
Jude.
So
Yeah.
there is reference to battles being done in the heavens.
So there's a spiritual battle, which means there's a spiritual army
Right.
over which God is also Lord and Master.
Right.
And Joshua, you're right. Technically, every army on earth, good or bad, God determines the fate and the outcome of those battles. So back and forth to work eventually his will. So this is very interesting indeed. Is God a military commander?
yes.
Huh.
I would say.
Yes, I would say.
Among other things, right?
Well, I would say that all things were made through and by him, and there's nothing new under the sun, and so we get our example from him. I mean, we wouldn't have an army if it wasn't God putting it together, right?
I don't really know what you mean.
Well, God had the army long before we even existed.
So there was an army even before mankind could create an army.
Right.
Why? Why is there this battle going on in the heavens? Can God not hold his house together? Or what's going on?
Well, there was a rebellion.
Lucifer was
Yeah.
There was a rebellion,
Lucifer.
and a third of the angels fell away. So
Where does it say that in the Bible?
Also to
Jude. Where in Jude?
one.
There's only one chapter in Jude. So.
Josh.
Where in Jude does it talk about these things going on? And this is important because it helps us identify and understand a little bit more God's character, which is one of the highest of all joys. So We are in now the book of Jude, or Yehuda, right? Literally, it's the book of Jew, because that's what the name means. And Jude was obviously an apostle of the Lord. And here we're reading in the biblical Greek, the Koine Greek, from left to right, like you would read English. So Joshua, find for us where Jude talks about this battle, this war. It's a very short epistle or letter. It's only one chapter.
Okay, so what's 2?
You tell me.
Oh yes, verse 9, Josh.
What's 9?
Yeah.
All right, we're going down to verse 9 in Jude. And again, read the whole thing. It's really short, so it's not going to take you a lot of time, but it's chock full of good things. So in verse 9, and Shots, you want to read that?
Sure. Yet Michael the archangel. I think I
And you
can
missed,
read.
you missed your cue. Let's try that again. Take 2. Shots, do you want to read that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yet Michael the archangel, in contending with the devil when he disputed about the body of Moses, dared not bring against him a reviling accusation, but said, "The Lord rebuke you."
Okay, so there's this conflict in the heavens right here. Joshua, you can find that other verse about 2/3 of the, or 1/3 of the angels rebelling against God. So here in Jude 1, verse 9, Michael is contending with the devil, right? These are spiritual beings. Michael,
Yeah.
obviously the good guy, the archangel over Israel, and the devil, the bad guy. And they were talking about or disputing over Moses' body. We just read it. And then Michael, instead of insulting Satan, said, "The Lord rebuke you. The Lord rebuke you." There's a spiritual contest going on. This may not be revelation to a lot of you out there. You already know this, but I think we forget it sometimes. And we have a tendency to see things through a secular lens or mentality that says, you know what, it's just, I got to do this more, I got to do that more. It's spiritual. Everything goes back to spiritual root. Joshua.
Revelations 12.
Revelation. Oh, I know what you're talking about. And he took the stars.
Except the thought of them not to be off. Yeah.
Okay, that is true. Not quite the verse we were looking for, but it does allude to it. So,
Those never one.
yes.
One of the epistles.
Yes.
So I can't find it.
Okay. So Revelation chapter 12, right? This is the famous chapter about the great red dragon fighting the woman who is Israel, and the woman's bringing forth the son, which refers to Yeshua. And what verse, Joshua?
3 and 4.
Verse 3 and 4. Do you want to read those?
Right.
Thank you.
And another sign appeared in heaven, a huge red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 royal crowns on his heads. His tail swept the fall of the stars from the sky, holding them to be off. And the dragon stood before the woman who was about to give birth, ready to devour her child as soon as he gave birth.
Okay. So we're really emphasizing or looking at the third of the stars in heaven. Does that mean that literally 33% of all the gaseous giants in the heavens were cast to the earth, because that would destroy the planet instantly? So what does this mean?
It's metaphorical, probably for the angels.
For the angels, right. And there are many places in the Old Testament where the angels and stars are sort of allude to each other very clearly. So 1/3 of those angels were cast to the earth. Interesting. By or through the vehicle or vector of this great red dragon who represents Satan. So there is a war going on, a battle. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. And what are you at 12? Oh, no.
Right. So there is this war, this battle going on, and God is the ultimate general. He is Adonai Tzeva'ot. Just out of curiosity, who wins?
God.
No, in general, this war at the end.
God.
Where does it say that?
Well, you have to read the next chapter. And the chapters after that.
Well, the next chapter is about, that's Revelation 13. It's about the mark of the beast, and it's about
false prophet and all cast down to hell.
Cast into
Where does it say
the lake
that?
of fire.
Revelations.
Chapter 20, verse 10.
Yes.
What? Ray.
You're good at pulling out bosses.
You're amazing. So Revelation chapter 20, verse 10, one of my favorite verses of the Bible, talks about the final defeat of Satan, his demonic angels, and Yeshua says hell was made for the devil and his angels, right? And those who allied themselves against God. So going down here to verse 10, where we are in verse 5. And again, we have the Greek right here for you language nerds like myself that love it. And here we are in Revelation 20:10. And the devil, the one who deceived them, deceived the whole world, was cast into the lake of fire and sulfur, where also the beast of Revelation and the false prophet of Revelation are. And they will be tormented day and night for ages of ages, which means forever and ever. So yes, God wins, which means by implication, if we're on God's side, we win, which should be an encouragement to us against all the garbage that this world is dealing out. As Vicky fatally predicted, we're going to have to go to a part 2 in all of this because Benjamin asked a very important question that we need to be able to dissect, and we are starting to dissect it. So, to summarize, Benjamin's question was, concerning the wars in the Middle East, is Israel warmongering? And he doesn't mean all Jews around the world trying to kill.
No.
He means the government of Israel and the prime minister
Yeah.
of Netanyahu. We took our little poll, and thanks to Digger Bones, we won.
Yes, yay.
We saw that before Paul started.
Yes, that's not what I was thinking.
All right, we don't have time for that right now because that's going to be another 40 minutes. And we defined warmongering, we defined war, and then we looked at God, who calls himself Adonai Tzeva'ot, among other things, or the Lord or Master of Armies, talking about that spiritual war that's going on. And that's important because Israel is engaged in a spiritual war. The things that are going on over there, Gaza, the Palestinians, Iraq, Iran, all this Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, it's all spiritual. The root is spiritual, and that's why we look at it that way. So we'll continue this, God willing, next week, which will also usher us into the new year. Very exciting. Which means Passover after that is only 2 weeks away.
Come on.
Got to clean the house from top to bottom, clean out the chametz, and get ready for the Passover. Very exciting. Your favorite holiday?
The worst part of
Yeah.
Passover was cleaning.
It's clean.
Yes,
I would
that's
stop eating bread forever if it meant I couldn't
It's
clean.
never as bad as we think.
It seems, yeah, that's true.
I'd rather fast bread my entire life than clean the house the way we do. I hate how long it takes.
Got to do it. So, thank you guys for joining us today. Yes, a blessing as always. Thank you for joining us online. Also a blessing. And God willing, we will see you all next week, maybe even on time, which might be a sign of the apocalypse. You never know.
I know we can't do that.
I know that
Freak out.
they're like, oh, it says 11. We'll come on 11:10 because he's always like.
Yeah.
So, God willing, that will be the case. Meanwhile, we say Shabbat Shalom, which means what?
Peaceful rest.
Peaceful rest to you all, I hope, and to you as well. And Shavuot Tov, which means
Have a good week.
have a good week. And I pray that God will give you guys a good week and you all as well. And please don't forget always to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of the Jewish people.